In the year 2893, mercenaries have been sent to the planet of Tau Ceti IV to help various corporations salvage and investigate the demise of the new Cascadia colony, and it is here that these runners employ the highly sophisticated Biomata, synthetic bodies woven by patented weaveworm technology that allow a person to seamlessly transfer in their digitized consciousness and operate in hostile environments or carry out high-risk missions. These shells, as they are also known, are tailor-made for a user, right down to being programmed to only operate with their DNA. Manufactured by Sakaguchi Genetics, there are various models and series of Biomata, those being the A, B, C, and S series, all offering varying levels of durability, speed, equipment, and integrated technologies. And in terms of the different models or classes of shells, there are currently 7 known to be in production: the Destroyer, Assassin, Recon, Vandal, Thief, Triage, and Rook. Each model is also available in different series, an example being the Destroyer model's Locust series or the Triage model's Ox series, all of which can be upgraded with various cores and implants to improve their baseline systems, equipment, and durability. These Biomata are also incredibly expensive to produce, but for the potential payouts that await a runner on the planet, they are well worth the investment. But with all that said, let's dive into the lore behind each of these shells and see what it is exactly that makes them all so unique. The Destroyer Shell is the embodiment of aggression and brutality, designed to allow the runner to quickly get in front of a confrontation and make a stand. Outfitted with an advanced version of the Mjolnir power armor, this model comes equipped with an energy shield to deflect oncoming fire and leg-mounted thruster attachments. These allow for increased running speeds and the ability to quickly launch the runner in any direction. And perhaps the most significant of the shell's arsenal is the shoulder-mounted missile launcher system, which when fired, releases a salvo of heat-seeking projectiles, with successful hits causing them to slow or become immobilized. All in all, the role of the Destroyer is not to just make a presence, but also to keep sustained pressure on the enemy and stop them in their tracks. Built for the runners who prefer a more quiet approach to combat, the Assassin Shell provides a suite of equipment for infiltration and stealth. Easily the most standout feature is its deployable discs that release clouds of smoke when activated. These help to not only obscure vision, but will also trigger the shell's active camouflage technology when walked through. And despite being triggered by the smoke, this camouflage tech is actually a standalone feature and can be independently engaged at any time. The runner can also sprint, mantle, or slide while using it, but they will become more visible the faster that they move. Using equipment, firing a weapon, or taking fire will disengage it for a short period of time as well. The Assassin is also capable of executing a dive maneuver that will negate fall damage at any height and deploy the same smoke and cloaking tech upon landing. In short, this shell excels in allowing its user to either disappear in the confusion or use the distraction to their advantage. For those who intend to track down or know the locations of enemies at all times, the Recon Shell is without a doubt the best option on the market. This shell comes equipped with a helmet that emits a series of pulses to identify nearby enemies, which will be highlighted on the user's display for targeting. Recon also carries a small tracker drone that will seek out enemies and detonate when in close proximity to them. The resulting explosion will overheat enemy systems, immobilizing them for a short period of time. And if they're able to break their shields, enemies will leave behind a trail of holographic footprints, allowing a runner to track down their prey even if they have left the area. Additionally, the Recon Shell has a sort of sixth sense that detects when they've been spotted by an enemy. This, paired with all the other features, allows for a heightened sense of awareness not available with any other shell. The Vandal Shell is the perfect option for those who are looking to shake things up on the battlefield and get to places that other runners can't. With internal microjet technology, the user can not only double jump while in the air, but will also slide significantly farther than other shells. And these abilities are further bolstered when the Vandal overloads their system, which allows a user to chain them together for nearly unrivaled movement. The Vandal Shell also comes equipped with a concealed arm cannon that fires a projectile capable of launching enemies in the air, out from behind cover, and even off of structures. In the right hands, the Vandal Shell is the perfect blend of chaos and mobility. While most of the other shells may be focused on firepower or response, the Thief Shell offers a cunning and adaptive approach to locating and securing the best loot on the battlefield. And it does this through its X-ray visor, which can penetrate structures and identify containers within the area. The visor will also highlight enemies as well, given that they are within line of sight. Thief also comes with a small aerial drone that can be piloted remotely. Runners can use this to either survey an area and mark targets, or use its mechanical whip to knock items out of an enemy's inventory and then retrieve them for collection. Additionally, the shell comes equipped with a grapple device embedded in its arm. This fires a dart that will unfold into a propeller, which will then hover in place and pull the user to it. This allows for a more creative approach to movement, or gives the runner a quick means to escape encounters. And another unique aspect of the shell is that it will become more effective when carrying more loot, experiencing shorter cooldowns on its equipment the more loot that a runner collects. This, paired with all of its other tools, makes the Thief Shell an easy sell for those looking to prioritize procurement over all else. Meant to fill the role of a combat medic within a group of runners, the Triage Shell offers a variety of support features to keep teams alive and moving. After briefly charging its capacitive gauntlets, Triage can fire a pair of electrified tendrils to either shock an ally back to their feet or deal damage to enemies. When overcharged, these same gauntlets can be used to increase the effectiveness of their weapons, and when using battery weapons specifically, will EMP an enemy when their shields are broken. And of course, the key feature of this shell is its aerial medical drones, which when thrown on the ground or to an ally, will provide shields and repair damage. And as an added bonus, when Triage uses any consumables or equipment and has a drone linked to an ally, whatever effects are caused by it will be shared with them as well. All of these tools and abilities allow the Triage Shell to provide constant support to their team, even while engaging the enemy. Being perhaps the most basic model, the Rook Shell is made for a runner who is looking for a low-risk, all-reward approach. Intended to be deployed into an active zone with none of the runner's own personal equipment or weapons, the Rook instead has to rely on whatever they can find in the field. But that's not to say the shell doesn't have anything special about it, as it does come equipped with integrated projection technology that allows it to disguise itself as and blend in with UESC forces, being so effective that even if the runner is actively under fire, UESC forces will cease hostilities and perceive them as one of their own. Now, while there is great opportunity that comes with this shell, there is one major drawback. That being that those who use it will be deployed alone and unable to make progress on their faction contracts. So it's up to them to befriend fellow runners or extract before falling victim to them. But all things considered, those who use the Rook Shell can really only profit from their operations on Tau Ceti IV. Now, let's talk about some of the complexities that come with the runner shell. Firstly, something that might be a little difficult to understand when it comes to the Biomata in general is that when your consciousness is transferred into them, you become that shell, but the shell is not actually you. This is because every one of the standardized models that are available for purchase and use actually comes pre-programmed with personalities built around the cumulative experiences of one or more individuals. Take for instance again the Destroyer Shell. As previously mentioned, this version of the shell that is currently available is known as the Locust series. Per Marathon's creative director, this specific series or version of the Destroyer Shell was trained on the live fire experience of UESC soldiers and was designed to support the user's combat instincts. Its personality matrix and vocal pattern are also an amalgamation of combat field leaders tuned to deliver confidence under duress. This same trend is seen across the board when it comes to every shell, with each having been built into this sort of recognizable individual that can be mass-produced. So essentially, when you switch between runner shells, you're more or less just taking control of somebody else's body, having total control of their actions, while their personality, mannerisms, and combat experience are there to subconsciously guide you while you inhabit it. And as can be expected, runners are inevitably going to run into hostile enemy runners, local wildlife, or the UESC's forces. But upon the death of the runner, the user themselves doesn't actually die. Instead, their consciousness is transferred back into a centralized server, and then CyberAcme's systems place it into a new shell. And while some users may favor a specific model, there's nothing to suggest they couldn't simply switch to a different one between operations, rather than waiting for their currently inhabited one to be destroyed. But it's important to note that upon reactivation, users will undergo a grounding exercise where they're shown previous possessions or pictures of their past organic selves and family. This exercise may be evidence that a runner's own memories may deteriorate every time their consciousness is transferred into a new shell. That being said, it's not really clear if there's a limitation on how many times a runner could be reactivated, but this potential degradation may hint that over time, they may entirely forget who they even were. And when it comes to their original self, after undergoing the process of digitizing their consciousness, there's nothing to suggest that they could return to their original organic body, now merely existing as lines of code in CyberAcme servers, forever acting as the corporate world's undying guns for hire. Now that may actually be an existential crisis that all runners will go through at some point, but hey, we've actually come to the end of today's video. And I think I've covered just about everything we currently know about the runner shells lore-wise at this time. But as always, if there's anything that I missed, you had a favorite piece of lore from the video you wanted to share, or if there's another topic you'd like me to cover, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about the Marathon universe, be sure to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed. I've got plenty more videos like this one in the works, including one for later this month, where I'll explain the lore behind the different corporations and factions, all fighting over the remnants of the new Cascadia colony. So if you want to stay up to date on when those will be released, you should definitely turn on notifications. And I will say too, I'm also primarily a Halo lore channel, so if that's the kind of stuff you're into, be sure to check out my years of other videos as well. But that's it for today, so I will see you in the next video.